In this video, I'll show you guys my tier list breakdown for the rogue decks and cards getting new support. Doom of Dimensions is an amazing set, bringing us support for cards like DDD and the Justice Hunters archetypes, which are really powerful in the meta game right now, but also really cool ones like Doomsday, Magnificent, which is a MST archetype. Guys, I did not think we'd get this, and then some really interesting support cards for decks that I want to say are a little bit meta breaking. We've got Megalith with basically every band effect put into their new spell and effect monster, and then also the Solfachord spell card. Guys, the Solfachord spell card is on another level. This deck got the most power creep I've ever seen in 3 cards. Let's talk about it and let's break down this new Doom of Dimensions meta. Get ready guys, it's going to be a good one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys there. Let's start off with Tri-Brigade. So Tri-Brigade is interesting. They got a new support card that lets them dump 2 Tri-Brigade cards to the graveyard. It is a link to substitute, but it has to be link summoned, so you can't cheat it out with the Tri-Brigade effects. Honestly guys, the support is underwhelming. Just like the Link 5 monster, which people don't even summon, but at least it can be played with Magnificent. Is kind of support for beast warrior decks, but it's not good enough. So this is going to be a cool and casual deck. I would love to be proven wrong, and I know how good Tri-Brigade is, but that was a different format guys. The meta is a lot different. Even rogue decks at that time are probably better than Tri-Brigade. So again, prove me wrong in the comments, but I don't think this is going to do a lot. I mean, this is just going to give them even more recursion. I mean guys, let's just do the obvious. We've got Draco Tail as a YCS threat, we've got Yummy as a YCS threat as well. These are obviously going to be the top 2 archetypes coming out of Doom of Dimensions. I want to move on straight to Onomatokage. The one thing, I love the name of this card. The second thing, it's an amazing retrain, shuffling 2 generic Exceed monsters back to the extra deck. It's a free special from the hand or grave if you own any of the Onomat names, which if you played Onomat maybe on this channel because you've seen my videos on them, this card is pretty damn good. So I'm going to put them in YCS threat, but that's me being biased. I'm going to put it in regional roguesters because this is the kind of deck you could confidently take to a nationals, definitely a regional, and wipe the floor with the competition. And maybe that's something I do in the future, and I can take this to a tournament. If that ever happens, I will let you guys know. Raizu Onomat is what I've been testing for the new format, and this is insane. The fact you can shuffle back your detonators means the limit on the ban list doesn't even matter. The deck never played multiple copies of the main deck monsters, so this is just a perfect pair. I don't have a lot to say about Revel bots. I checked out the support. I love the art style of the deck and the simplicity, but I think it's a little bit too simple, and the deck still lacks in, I want to say, just sheer power. Yes, the boss monster can attack multiple times, but it's not that easy to pull off that kind of board, and the monsters have effects like negation, but it is reliant on the board itself. I think when you see this deck verse off against the meta decks, it just doesn't do well enough. It does have machine generic support going for it though, and that's obviously really cool. If you think that there's going to be a wave 3 in the next Burst of Protocol, let me know in the comments down below. If you've tried Revel bots out, what do you honestly think? Give me a rating from 1 to 10 in the comments and let's discuss. Okay, next up is Goki. So one of the issues with Goki was emptying your hand, and the new cards do that. They have a fusion monster now and a link 2 that does a fusion summon. Thing is, the deck still doesn't have a big boss monster to summon. This fusion is definitely not something to take to a regional, and with the hits to Cyburst like Splash Mage, fortunately this is going to be, I think, another cool and casual one. Next up is K9, so this could be generic K9, Crystron K9, Vanquisher K9, which honestly kind of wants me to put it up as a YCS threat. People are saying the Raisin hit is really bad, the Stake of Soul hit is really bad, and 100% agree. The cool thing is this K9 package does serve a purpose in pretty much any meta deck in the game. It's like a 1-card Saryuja, which I don't think any deck is going to disregard. This package can convert into I think it's Earth Machines because of River Stormer. The new card is really cool. I think it can look into the opponent's either hand or the top card of their deck, and it can also help them special as well. Guys, next up, so this one I'm gonna have a lot of fun with, not on YCS threat, but the new DDD support is honestly crazy. We've got the cover card, the boss of boss monsters basically. These new support cards honestly play around Nibiru, they play around multiple hand traps, they don't rely solely on the Abyss King Gilgamesh, and the new Link 3, yeah, it plays with Nibiru, it gives you Link arrows, and the best part is the deck can now be consolidated into just a few powerful DD monsters, so you don't need to run around with a lot of bricks anymore. This deck is hyper consistent. But what fails is ultimately, like every other combo deck, it's a glass cannon, and it can lose to Molchamis, kind of like Onomat, kind of like Manadium for example, or White Forest. These combo decks always have a heal that kind of turns them back from being a YCS threat. Moving on is Bramble Rose Dragon. I've checked out the synchro plant support and it's pretty good, especially with Global back in the metagame. I kind of see a plant deck taking off, but not so much a Rose synchro plant deck. However, these new cards, the level 6 synchro, being able to dump a plant monster to the graveyard from deck and extra deck, literally sets up Glow Up Bulb. With the Bramble Rose Grave Effect special from Grave, you can really climb easily into a boss synchro monster. It's hard to say, guys, but I think I would put this package in local legend because people are playing more board breakers, so these powerful FTK negate boards lose to these board breakers. I just don't think there's much going for this package right now, but this is something you have to pick up if you enjoy synchros in any way. This archetype is turning into a splashable engine of a draw 2 discard 1 for quick play spells. Alone as a pure deck, it's pretty good because you can set up really cool negates. You will use the mystical space typhoon spell card and actually use it in proper duels, and that's what I think is great about the archetype, is they did a really good job with this and they made sure that it's playable. Whether you can take it to a regional though, that is the question. I definitely see them making more waves of support. Definitely feel like this is gonna pop up in a regional level, maybe later on when the format has been more settled down. I wouldn't be surprised at all, but for now it's a local legend. But let's see how far nostalgia goes, guys. I wonder how well nostalgia will take us with MST. Next up, guys, is Grand Solfachord. One of the most crazy things I've ever read in Yu-Gi-Oh! It can give you an extra pendulum summon. The other card has recursion from the extra deck. Now that you've got these cards, I think this is a really strong engine, and it's just because of how popular the Justice Hunters is that these cards are being overlooked. This is definitely a regional rogue star. If you don't know anything about Solfachord, I highly recommend you check it out now. This could be getting the Lunar Light effect, and I wouldn't be surprised if it takes off. Next up, guys, is the Dogmatica support, which kind of turns into the Ritual Dogmatica support as well. Obviously, with the new branded structure deck, this deck is a lot more relevant, but honestly, this is just another local legend, maybe even cool and casual, because in this day and age, no one is really playing Dogmatica, and I just think the deck is still a little bit too slow. The same way Fleur de Lis is kind of one of their cards they set up, but it's actually really weak, and it is reliant on sending cards from the deck to the graveyard. However, the Arclight still exists for Yummy players, so I don't see how this deck is going to do well in a local scene. Branded is a heavily experimental deck. Maybe there's a Dogmatica version we can now play. I've done a full breakdown guide on how to play Doomsday. Play as a pure deck, play as a Onomat package deck, or play it just with the Archmage archetype. If you're a lore fan like me, you're going to love this deck. Is it a YCS threat? No, it's not. Put it as a local legend because that's exactly where this deck is right now. That said though, just like a lot of other surprises in previous formats, I can see this deck taking off. It's got the promise of a old school Kashtira shifter deck. The monsters have equipped spells and we get to play cards like Angelic Ring, which stops Super Poly, which I showed in my latest video. But also the boss monster, the rank 8 monster, is a monster effect negation, equip steal on summon, can steal and equip another monster, has battle and targeting protection in the archetype, and all the cards trigger when destroyed by battle or card effect. I know that Zodiac was off the ban list with a Dryden, so maybe there's a world where you play Doomsday with Zodiac. The letters definitely make sense as Doom Zodiac, but yeah, for now, this is definitely a local legend, but it's something I'm definitely planning to pick up. If you want to see more Doomsday content, comment down below. What should I cover and how should I play this deck? Drew Draco. So a lot of people might be mad at me for this one. I don't think this is a local legend. I think this deck existed a long time ago where the meta was completely different, where we never had Lightning Storm, we never had Imperm, we never had hand traps. So to see it now, and this boss monster, in my opinion, just doesn't do enough. Skipping a main phase 1 doesn't mean anything when decks will play on turn 0. They'll play on any phase they want to, like K9, Phimina, Draco Tail, anything like that. I think this deck just has too many things going against it, especially with Lightning Storm going back to 3, guys. I don't think this deck is doing much. So for that reason, I'm putting it in cool and casual. If you're a long time fan, you know I covered a lot of Draco Slayer and a bit of Draco Overlord. Comment down below, should I go back to Draco Slayer? Maybe that's something I do as like a special video. I'd love to know what you guys think. So Psychic support is really cool. We've got a Synchro monster, we've got a Fusion monster that basically bridge all of the teleport fusion spells, and it means you're never going to play a game without seeing at least 2 of them. You'll know why emergency teleport was limited. Now it's back to 3. This is my hot take, guys. Prove me wrong, but I think this could be a regional roadster, especially with Punk being legal now that Battles of Legends is out in Europe. The issue is it still plays like a synchro combo deck, but it does have fusions, it does have super poly targets. Franklin Sokenan got hit quite badly, so how potent will this super poly boss monster be? The deck has so much going for it. It's got the Cyframe Omega hand rip, it main deck Cyframe monsters because of the link to Lambda, and with the new combo pieces with the new psychic cards from before, yeah, this deck just went from 0 to 100 because we now have even even more synchro extenders. You'll love to see it, guys. Level 6 synchros, that's when you know a synchro deck is getting some love. And finally, guys, Megalith. So I read this new card. It's a Omni Negate. It stops a card that targeted. It tributes a monster the opponent controls. The new card is a Melody of Awakening Dragons that searches the spell card. We've got new generic ritual support, and I think everything comes together to make this a regional rogue star. This was so close to being a local legend for me because Megalith as an archetype does suffer from losing to dimensional barrier. I guess it can lose to Molcharmies as well. It can special from the deck, but the great thing about this deck is the recursion it has. This is going to be mega easy to summon, making Megalith a serious ritual contender in the format. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. This is my post Doom of Dimensions tier list. Let me know if you agree with K9 in the YCS threat. Let me know if you agree with Solfachord, Psychic, and Megalith. I know those are my hot takes, but also, do you agree with the cool and casual list? Do you think Revel Bots is a cool and casual deck? With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.